Hey guys, and welcome. This is Part1 3D casting and recording. I'm assisted today by my co-commentator Con88. What's going on, Con?
Not much, not much. How's it going?
Going good. We got Fnatic MSI versus Button Bashers today. This is a quarterfinal game for the bottom left corner of our bracket. This is the game replay's 6th tournament in our first official season, leading up to our invitational for 1K that everyone's sort of chasing. We got Fresh Fry Fly on BTN as well as Overpow, and someone who's not here for Button Bashers, who I think is a notable person, is Loda from MYM in Dota, if I'm not mistaken. Con, do you know? I don't know what team he plays for.
Well, it was SK for the most part, and then when SK disbanded, he played for MIM for a bit. But he doesn't. I've never seen him play for Button Bashers in a game replays tournament anyway, so it's not that surprising that he's not here. I don't think.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. Real quick, I did cast the other two, or one of the Fnatic games in the past here, and what they ran against QS was a weird strat. That was really weird. They had Valkyrie, Blacksmith, Corrupted Disciple, and there you see there's the first pick, Corrupted Disciple right there. Trying to remember who else, but those were the major picks. Slither was on that team, and Tempest. They went a hard push strat on QS, had a lot of their outer towers down about 22 minutes in. Let's go quick to the bands here. We got Kronos Band, Swiftblade Band, Ophelia Band, Blacksmith Band, Hellbringer Band, and Accursed also banned.
Yeah, it's pretty standard bans all around there. I think. Swift, you don't like Swift's kind of recently is getting banned. A really nice carry that is being played now ever since his buff, but he's been getting a lot popular now in the last 2 or 3 weeks especially. Yeah, but everything's pretty standard there, I suppose. Just batting the really strong heroes. Button Bashers 1-2ing then Slither and Plague Rider. Slither, who's pretty overpowered at the moment, I think. The wards, Slither's wards are just a bit nuts at the moment, I think. And Plague Rider, a really solid hero. But not much. You can't really tell what they're going to do. They could go for a push shot, I suppose. Slither's a strong pusher there. Tempest, I really like Tempest. Do you like Tempest?
Yeah, I do.
I think Tempest is one of those
I
heroes.
think that also goes really well with the Demented Shaman pick, because if Button Bashers does try to go to push, you got Tempest and Demented Shaman to counter that really nicely. You got the elementals from Tempest, and Demented Shaman's nuke kill does a lot of work, especially on creeps. So I like those two picks, as well as Corrupted Disciple. The only thing I don't like about Tempest is a little bit squishy early on, but he makes up for that pretty late on. And what do you think about these next two Button Bashers picks going down right now?
Well, Pharaoh was kind of what I was thinking they were going to go. Fresh Fry Fly usually picks up a Pharaoh, and he's really good at the old Pharaoh solo mid usually. Really strong ganker, but Pharaoh's also a really good counter to Tempest. Really long range ult, really long range. I'm not sure if Pharaoh's ult goes through Magic Immunity, but even if Tempest managed to farm up a BKB, then it wouldn't be a big deal. And then Zephyr, who's another one of those carries that's either always picked or banned. So not really surprised to see that pick at all.
I think
So yeah, go ahead.
I think he's kind of a counter to Tempest. I mean, if he gets stuck in that temp ult, but he's got his ultimate going and he's got his cyclones, I think he could probably kill Tempest, especially early on. Maybe not when Tempest gets his BKB, but when it comes early on and he tries to get a little ult off on Zephyr, I think Zephyr could probably counter him pretty nicely.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, you're right. But like, I mean, it all depends on the Tempest ult, really. If after Tempest gets a Blink Dagger, that should never really happen, because Tempest should be initiating the fight. Oh wow, Pestilence. Haven't seen. Well, I suppose Pestilence is getting played kind of recently as well. And Valkyrie, who I love to see played in the game. Usually, for MSI, it's Trixie who picks up the Valk. I think it was last week and the week before that Trixie was playing Valkyrie a lot and did really well, really strong mid game ganking coming out of Valkyrie and then end game kind of semi carrying. So it's good to see they're kind of switching around the roles a bit. And Trixie's on the hard carry, Corrupted Disciple now, and Rexy is going to be picking up Valk, and then Behemoth. So that's a kind of weird lineup for button bashers here. At the start, they were kind of going for push up but picking Slither, but now they really have a really AoE team. Like all of their ults here are all AoE ults, and they've really nice synergy between them. They have like Behemoth, they can Behemoth blink in, gets as many heroes as possible, destroys all the creeps with his ultimate and his combo. Then Plague comes in with his ultimate, and it's not going to be hitting any creeps, so it's going to be doing damage all to the team. And you can follow that up with a Slither ult or a Pharaoh ult or a Zephyr ult if you want. So really good synergy there from button bashers. I kind of like their side.
One thing I want to go back to real quick is that the Valkyrie comment you made. Last game against QS, it was actually Rotterdam who was playing that Valk hero and had a really tough time in that early game against a Plague Rider Puppet Master combo, where the Plague Rider hold in show would just keep him from leaping, and he had a really rough early game. He ended up cleaning it up a little bit, but yeah, I agree with you completely on that. All I see in the Legion team really is a lot of AoE capacity. Demented Shaman, though, I think is a strong lane, so we'll have Valkyrie solo, top probably, with Tempest nearby in the jungle to assist him with that mini stun to help line up his arrow. Corrupted Disciple will be in the mid, and then we'll have a D-Sham Pesty lane bottom, which is strong. They got that stun. They got two stuns, really. I mean, Demented's got a mini stun slow, and then the nuke heal, so they have two nukes off of the Pestilence stun and the Demented Shaman heal. It's really, I think, when it comes down to the later game, it's going to be about who can get the jump on who. If Valkyrie's arrow gets a hit, it'll definitely be Valk, because that can just CC someone for an entire team fight, and then that'll be 5v4. If Behemoth gets a jump, Pharaoh gets a jump, they have the advantage by far. So I don't know about you, but I think it's really just going to come down to who can get their initiation off first later game.
Yeah, you're completely right there. I think, in team fights, just from the heroes at the moment that I'm looking at, Legion have the massive advantage because they have so many options for initiation. And they have like Behemoth and Pharaoh, and either of them can start off with initiation and then be followed up by the other one, and then be followed up by the other three heroes, and it's really strong. But then again, if we're talking about strong ults, we have to talk about Tempest here. If Tempest can get a really strong ult, and as long as he gets Pharaoh and Behemoth in the ult, well, if it happens, it's probably not, because it's a competitive game, that's not going to happen, because these guys know how to play. They know that they don't want to be initiated on by Tempest, or that's a ridiculous ult. So if Tempest gets off a really strong ult like that, disables the heroes that can disable him, then it's not going. It's the team fight is going to go in their favor, but it's not likely to happen. And I think what's going to happen is the superior initiation on the Legion side is going to win over in team fights. But I suppose it's kind of ignoring all the there's more carry capacity on MSI's side. Basically, they have two carries and a semi carry. So it looks like you're completely right about the lanes. Tempest going in the Legion jungle though, which I'm very surprised about. I guess going for an early first blood maybe. You can see that they put that ward down just behind the bottom tower, so you can see people hiding behind the tower and TPs coming in behind the tower.
I don't know, I think the Legion has very good ward positioning in their jungle, and I think that's what Tempest was really expecting there, because that ward right there placed by Budgie, they're revealing the top rune, and then they got the one to prevent creep spawns. As you can see, that blocks two creep camps, which cuts into Tempest farm greatly. Whereas down bottom in the Hellborn jungle, you can triple stack creeps as well, so that gives him another advantage there. So I'm not really too surprised, but I am a bit surprised. But let's go mid here. We got a lot of exchange going on right here between Corrupted Disciple and Pharaoh. Really early on, they're both down less than half.